Good evening, this is Catherine from Crayony. Welcome to the Share Wales Wellness Workshop this evening. I'd just like to take a moment just to come and settle in. And if you'd like to join me through a little meditation, that's the Wellness Workshop today. So before I start, I would like to say happy birthday to Calon. Yes, it's quite apt timing really for a Water Wisdom workshop, just to think of you before that birth in that womb and all that water around you and nourishing you. And just as the water around us nourishes us now, when we drink it, when it's in the air. And yeah, it's really nice just to take a moment just to remember that connection to the water. How much of a percent of the body is water? Quite a lot. How much of the world is water? Quite a lot. And we just walk around this world and this earth and just, sometimes don't even think about it. So it's quite nice in meditation just to remember that connection and to remember that life-giving energy. So yes, that's my intention for you today. Okay, just checking that I'm recording. So I'm putting some things on the podcasts. So I'm recording on a sound recorder as well. So that's all recording. If you want to see the podcast, it's on Google Podcasts, Spotify, and some other places as well. And then you can just tune in anytime and revisit these meditations. Okay, so for this meditation today, I should invite you just to find your space. With that intention, just opening up that sacred space around you, that meditation space. So you can do that physically or just with the mind, just setting that intention to open up this meditation space. The next 15 minutes or so is my meditation time, just to take a moment to connect with myself and what I am part of. So just taking a moment just to connect with yourself to begin with, if you choose. If you want to close your eyes, you can. That can help. If you've got headphones, it can be handy to listen through headphones. It's just taking a moment just to connect and breathe and be in this moment. And sometimes that's all we need to do really, is just to simply be and breathe. Even bringing that to awareness. Aware of myself, I breathe in. Aware of myself, I breathe out. Just really allowing yourself just to be aware of yourself at this moment. Everything else can just be outside for a moment. They can come back to that later. But in this moment, aware of myself, I breathe in. Aware of myself, I breathe out. Just feeling that connection of all that's going on within you. Aware of myself, I breathe in. Aware of myself, I breathe out. Breathing with that awareness. Aware of myself, I breathe in. Aware of myself, I breathe out. And is there anything that you need to do for yourself today? Anything I can do in this moment? Aware of myself, I breathe in. Aware of myself, I breathe out. It could be to stand instead of sitting. It could be to sit straighter. It could be to open up. Just asking yourself, is there anything you need to do in this moment for yourself? Aware of myself, I breathe in. Aware of myself, I breathe out. Just taking those moments just to simply be. As you simply be, maybe feeling that awareness of the air that flows within you with the breath. That breath moving around the body. As you breathe in to the nose, all the way to the belly, or even to the feet, and all the way back out. Being aware of that breath, the air around you and within you. Maybe being aware of the earth beneath your feet, all those layers of support each day. Layers upon layers just supporting you in each moment. Maybe being aware of what's almost intangible, what some people call chi energy, that life energy, seems to appear from who knows where. Breathing with that awareness and allowing that flow within you. And feeling how these flow within you. and how this flows within yourself. Aware of myself, I breathe in. Aware of myself, I breathe out. Maybe connecting to some of those power centers that's within yourself. They say there's centers of power within ourselves. We're almost regenerating our own energy, our own being. Some connect with this, the heart. So you put your hand on your heart and open that a little if you choose. Feeling that power that's within the heart. Can you feel that? That power within you, pumping that warm blood around the body. In every moment. Be sending that awareness. And that power of your love or appreciation to the heart. And feeling that power of the heart come to you. And then taking a moment just to connect with the power in the belly. You can put your hand on the belly. What's that power in the belly that you can feel? Many traditions find this a very powerful power center, so much they have names like Hara or Cusco. Feeling that power in the belly. What's that power in the belly for you? The abdomen, just below the belly button. Can you feel that power within you? Just asking how that power can grow within you today. Do you feel that power within you, especially within the belly? Just going to invite you now just to open up a space in front of you. So whatever way that's good for you, just opening up a space in front of me. And that space in front of you, I invite you to invite in that element of the water. So with the mind, I'm inviting in that element of the water in front of me. That awareness of that element of the water. As you open that space and invite that element in, invite that awareness of the water in, just noticing how that water appears to you. Maybe it's an image of the waterfall, a river, the sea. Inviting that element of water within you. Maybe even the representation is more personified, just noticing how that water element is in front of you and just breathing that awareness, that water element. And asking that permission for that watermelon, just an element to connect a moment with that water element. So may I connect with you, this element of the water. If you feel a yes, you might like to imagine, visualize, sense a cord of light coming from just below the belly button and coming out and reaching out to that, connect with that element of water in front of you. Allowing that cord to come and connect, that cord, that center of you, to that center of that water element. Imagine, visualize, sense that cord, that light, coming all the way out and connecting with that water element. Allowing that center of you to connect through that cord to that center of that water element. You may find you just wish to connect as you are without the cord, that's okay as well. But if you want to use the cord, just send in that awareness. And through that awareness comes a cord, that connection with the water. Feeling that connection as that cord connects with that element of the water. And then taking a moment just to breathe awareness, that collection of that element of the water. Aware of that water element, I breathe in. Aware of that water element, I breathe out. Just taking a moment to be and breathe with that connection. Remembering my words are only guidance, so doing what you feel is good for you. But I invite you in that space with that connection, just to breathe with that awareness. And as you breathe with that awareness, maybe asking questions and just seeing what answers come, the first ones that come. Maybe it's a feeling, maybe it's words, maybe it's images. So you could ask water element, whatever words again you wish to use. It could be river, sea, water, anything you feel. Water element. Who are you to me? And again, just noting what comes, feelings, words, sensations. And you can ask, water element, what is your gift today? What is your quality that you bring? Okay, noticing what answers come, and you can ask any questions you might like to ask. Water element, how can I access your gift today, in future days? Breathing with that awareness. As you breathe with that awareness, again, asking any of the questions that you want to ask, you could ask. Water element, and then the question. And you could even ask a general question, water element, is there anything that would be beneficial for me to learn from you today? What would you like to share with me today? Breathing that water element awareness, I breathe in. Breathing that water element awareness, I breathe out. You can ask that water element, is there anything that we can do for you today, in this moment and future moments? Anything we can do for you? Breathing that awareness. As you breathe that awareness, maybe allowing that element, that energy of the water to flow now from that place of the water all the way to you. Feeling how that can flow within you. Breathing with that awareness. Feeling how that water energy, that element of the water can flow from this place, from that core of the water to you, even in this moment. Breathing with that awareness, feeling with that awareness, and feeling how the water flows within you, maybe flows around you. Feeling how that water flows around you, and how it's flown and flowed around you since even before your birth, supporting you, nourishing you. Breathing that awareness of the water element, allowing that water element to flow around you and also within you. And just feeling how that flow feels as it flows. And how does that water flow around you? In the air. How did that water flow around you when you're in the room? How does that water flow around you when you're on a lake, even in the bath, and you just float or just feel that water? How does that water flow around you? Again, asking that question, water, in this moment, who are you to me? What are you to me? But maybe now taking a moment just to feel how that water flows within you too. How it flows through all the blood, to all the cells, through the muscles, through the joints. The joints have that synovial fluid that allows us to move. The fascia surrounding the muscles, giving us that flexibility, adaptability. The spinal cord, the fluid there. All that water flowing around our body, around our brain. All the cells. That water in the heart. Supporting that heart, that power center that's your heart. Supporting that power center that's in the belly as the water flows through there. Supporting the lymphatic system that flows. Helps filter anything that is ready to be let go of. Feeling how that water flows within you. Aware of that water that flows within me and around me, I breathe in. Aware of that water that flows within me and around me, I breathe out. Again, however works for you, just to feel that connection if you choose, that water. Allowing that water to simply just to hold you for this moment and connect. Maybe bringing that cord in now, that connection, that cord to the water if you haven't already. Feeling how that water element comes also back through, all the way to the belly. Bringing that cord to yourself, but feeling that element of that water that's within you. And again, feeling that flow within you. How is that water flowing within you? Allowing yourself to embody that water for a moment, and the water embody you, perhaps. Bringing that awareness to the part of you that is water. Aware of that water within me, I breathe in. Aware of that water within me, I breathe out. And as you access your potential of water, that part of you that's water, just noticing if any images come, any symbols or feeling. Are you feeling that connection to the water as we give and receive from the water? Aware of that water element within me, I breathe in. Aware of that water element within me, I breathe out. Breathing with that awareness. Again, allowing yourself to embody that water and that water to embody you a moment. And feeling that, how that feels. Feeling how it feels, and sometimes it's quite nice to bring it into a movement or a physical posture and just noticing how you move when you're feeling that water within you. How do you move? How does your hands want to move? How does your legs want to move? Maybe it's a stillness, maybe it's a posture, but just allowing that movement. You can do this in the mind if you like. Just imagine that movement, but you can also do this physically, and that can be really handy. Even just in future days, just doing this movement can help bring this feeling. This remembering, this awareness of our connection with the water and that power of the water within us. So doing that movement a few times, if you choose, again just in your mind or in that physical. As you do that movement, noticing if there's any images or feelings, is there colours, sensations, sounds. Feeling that water. And seeing if you can bring this to an I am statement or I something statement. It could be I flow or breathe. So I'm going to say I, and then if you finish off the sentence. So in this moment, with my awareness of that connection to that water within me, I. So in this moment, that awareness, my connection to that water element within me, I. Just doing that a few times, repeating a few times. It's like learning a new neural pathway, a new skill, new awareness. So you can just repeat that a few times if you like, just to bring that, to integrate that in this moment. Feeling that connection with the water, I. In this moment, I. And I. So in this moment, I. Maybe and I feel. Beautiful, and just doing that a few more times in this moment. That connection to that water wisdom within me. Connection to the water within me, I. And I feel. Okay, so just allowing yourself just to come back to And I really invite you to write this down. I'm gonna do this now actually. It can be a little bit like a dream, you know, when you wake up from a dream and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember that. Yeah. And some dreams you do remember, but a lot of dreams are like forgotten. So I'm gonna invite you now just to write it down. I'm gonna do that too. Beautiful. So you're done. I've done it to make sure I do it. And yeah, it's really useful as well, because these are gifts. If you did find the gifts from your own direct wisdom, your own direct experience, which I find really useful, and they are precious. They're precious to me as anything that you'll read in any other book. You know, it's just as precious. And it's come from that realization. So I really invite you to write it down. Maybe put it somewhere. You could just write it in a notepad, put it on the wall or anything, and just allow that just to come into your life a little bit moment. And yeah, and I always love hearing them and what you learned as well. When I do Skype workshops, we get to interact a little bit more. So please feel free to sign up some to them. Just look on Eventbrite, really. But yeah, the Facebook Live it's less so that interaction, but please feel welcome to. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, that was really beautiful for me as well. Yeah, I've got got my movement, so I'm going to do that for the next. Well, they say 21 days brings it into a new habit, but yeah, at least the next 7 days, I'm just going to do that from time to time, and just feel that integrate into my life. Hope that was useful for you. Warm wishes. See you again.